Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
Last month in Perth, Australia, a police van drove down public streets and scanned the faces of everyone who walked past. In 1 week, it captured more than 130,000 faces. And the one government official whose entire job is to protect people's privacy, she was never even asked. If you've ever walked through a shopping center or a public event, this is about you. You don't opt in to a face scan. You just walk by and the camera does the rest. I know that feels unsettling, the idea that your face becomes data without anyone asking. But the scariest part of this story isn't the technology. It's what didn't happen before the van rolled out. So let me show you the invisible part, the safety checks that were supposed to happen, and why skipping them changes everything. The Western Australia Police Force launched this trial with tech support from a company called NEC. The system worked like this. Cameras scanned every passing face. It compared each one, in real time, against a watch list of about 4,000 people with outstanding warrants. If your face didn't match, your image was pixelated and deleted almost immediately. If it did match, an officer nearby got an alert. Sounds reasonable, right? Here's the problem. The person who should have reviewed all of this first, the state's information commissioner, was never invited to the table. No formal consultation. No review of how the data gets stored or destroyed. Nothing before the first face was scanned. Why does that matter so much? Because of the accuracy gap that almost nobody talks about. When vendors brag about their rankings from NIST, that's the US government's testing lab, those scores come from perfect conditions. Frontal photos, good lighting, high resolution. But researchers at Carnegie Mellon found that when a face turns to an angle, the algorithm's confidence can drop by 30 to 40%. A street is nothing like a lab. People walk sideways, in bad light, in motion. That advertised accuracy quietly falls off a cliff. And it gets worse for some people more than others. According to NIST's testing across different demographic groups, false matches can happen over 100 times more often for the worst performing group than the best. Part of that is lighting. Darker skin often needs different lighting to show facial structure. On an uncontrolled street, that means more false alarms for certain faces. For an everyday person, that's the difference between walking home and getting stopped by police for a match that was never really you. Now let me correct the thing most people believe. You'll hear that these systems are about 90% accurate and think, that's fine, an officer makes the final call anyway. That logic feels safe, because 90% sounds like 9 times out of 10. But that number only holds in perfect conditions. Out in the field, the algorithm still spits out a confidence score, say 87%. The officer sees that number and trusts it. They can't see that 87% on a blurry sidewalk photo might mean a coin flip in reality. The human becomes a rubber stamp for an error they can't detect. And that's the real lesson. This was never a technology problem. It's a governance problem. You can have a 99% accurate algorithm and still run an unsafe trial because safety lives in the questions the algorithm can't answer. Who reviews the matches? How fast is data deleted? Who checks for bias? Those aren't tech questions, they're process questions, and the process was never set. So here's the whole thing in 3 sentences. A police van scanned 130,000 faces in 1 week, without the privacy watchdog ever reviewing it first. The technology looks accurate in a lab, but breaks down on a real street, especially for women and people with darker skin. And the safeguards that catch those mistakes only work if someone builds them before the cameras turn on, not after. Whether you carry a badge or just carry a phone, this is the difference between a careful experiment and an uncontrolled one, with your face as the test subject. Understanding that is how you stop feeling powerless about it. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.